It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the Naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome in to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 160 today. Really glad that you're with us on this Wednesday extravaganza to enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. And as we have said before, though it's been a while since we've said this, if you can be clothes-free while listening to the show, so much the better. If you're at home or a resort or a beach or at a friend's house, wherever you are, if you can be clothes-free, great. But if you're at work or at the post office or walking down Main Street or at the coffee shop, no, we don't advocate for that. We don't want you getting in trouble and missing part of the show because you're carted away. But if you can be clothes-free, naked as a jaybird, as we are here in the studio, and listen to the show together, as we do the show, we just appreciate you so much more, and you will appreciate the experience so much more as well. Glad you're with us. As I mentioned, this Wednesday extravaganza, we started these on July 30th. Our plan was most Wednesdays, and our plan was around a half an hour or so. Well, we have totally blown both parts of the plan. We have not done most Wednesdays. We've done every single Wednesday, including the day before Thanksgiving in the USA, Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. We have not missed a Wednesday since July 30th. And as far as that ridiculous thought that we'd keep each episode to a half hour or so, well, we've blown that too. We just enjoy what we're doing. You enjoy listening. We've created quite a team here with you as the listener and with us as the people in the studio. And we just enjoy being with you. We went from once a week for an hour twice a week. Not quite an hour on Wednesdays usually. We've gone over an hour a few times. Today will be close to an hour. It's hard to predict sometimes because on Wednesday shows we don't pay attention to the clock. Saturdays we do. That's exactly 1 hour on the nose. And how do we do that? Well, it's the magic and science and math of radio. Someday we'll explain all that, but not today. But on Wednesday shows, we don't even look at the clock other than to get a general feel. You know, are we 12 hours in? If so, probably a little long. But otherwise, we're coming close to an hour today, I believe. So just settle in. Have your favorite drink with you. We have coffee in the studio here. The only regret is that we don't have it hooked up to an IV. I think that would do us some good around here. But the taste of coffee is so good, it's probably better to consume it the traditional way in our Naked, Nudists, and Naturist coffee mugs. And as you know, if you've been following us on social media or also just listening to the show, you know that we have recently started dropping video of the show. That's right. You thought you'd never hear those words from us. Well, here we are on episode 160, telling you we're dropping video, just little video snippets, anywhere from 3 to 5 to 8 to 10 minutes of interviews that I've done with people. And we always, when we send these invitations out to people to be on the show, we do mention you will be on video. Video will be recorded, but only audio is produced unless we get your permission as the guest to release video down the road. We've been doing that, seeking permission and getting it from just about everybody. And so little by little, and our plan is twice a month, although we'll do 3 in the month of January. Otherwise, twice a month we will drop video snippets, again 3, 5, 8, 10 minutes, whatever the case may be, of interviews that I have done with people in the past. But the only way you can get to those is by joining our Patreon page at the highest level. It's a reward for being at the highest level. You get video. We're not producing these or putting them out there publicly. We're just putting it on the Patreon page for people at the highest level. You want to join us? Great. It's in the show notes right at the top, underneath the title, Patreon. You link there and join us, and we will share video with you. And we've already gotten some tremendously positive feedback from people. Now, so far, they've only seen me. We're only doing the interview, so Lisa hasn't joined us on video, although she will in the very near future. But the feedback has been great. Even people who said, don't need video, now they're saying, glad you're producing video, because we feel more connected to you now. We see you, we hear the words coming out of your mouth, we see the expressions, your hand gestures, and so on and so forth. And so we'd like to invite you to come along. Join us on Patreon, the highest level. You'll get video, too, at least twice a month. And when Lisa starts joining me, we'll produce segments of the two of us on video. The issue with that around here is the logistical nightmare. We can't, the place we record now, we have two places. One is at the studio, one is in my home. And both places are really too small to fit cameras in at proper distances and get good recordings. We've experimented with different things, and we finally decided if we're going to do this, we'll probably have to do it at two different locations, me in my home or in my studio, and Lisa, I don't know, downstairs in the kitchen, whatever. We'll figure that out, but it can't be in the same room at the same time, which is not great, but we'll be connected by video and not that far away, so that helps as well. Anyway, wanted to let you know that's going on, and more is coming up as well. Well, on today's show, we have a couple of listener letters, one from Armando, you've heard from him before, one from Greg White, you've heard from him before, and Greg also sent in a limerick about the show. We'll read that. And then a guy who's never been on the show, we've never mentioned his name before, a guy we call Marc from France. Well, okay, he's been on the show 1,000 times, I guess. He has written a story with 4 episodes involving Monroe Stone. Remember, somebody called us that in the greeting instead of, hi, Frank, and Lisa down the road, or hi, Lisa, and Frank down the road. It was, hello, Monroe Stone. And we thought that sounded like a private detective. That seemed like it'd be a name, right, for a private detective. Monroe Stone on the case here. Well, Marc from France took that and ran with it and has come up with a story 4 episodes long involving Monroe Stone at a nudist resort, doing an investigation of some thievery. And so Lisa and I will act that out today. We're going to read that to you, kind of sort of like an old-time radio production, including music. Oh, we're getting fancy today, aren't we? So stick around. We think you'll enjoy that. At least we hope so. We hope you don't have us carted away, but we're going to have fun with it. So that's what you have to look forward to on today's show. Lisa is walking in as we speak, so let me get to this. Come on in. The pool is fine. The hot tub is fired up at 104 degrees. The grill is going full bore. Fruits and vegetables off to the right. Cold drinks off to the left. Hot drinks inside. The hammock is out the left side door. Putting greens behind the pool. Bocce ball court out in the back of the pool, but on the right-hand side. And back inside the screened-in area of the pool, we have a cigar bar in the back left corner. Help yourself to any of it. Help yourself to all of it. If you brought nothing at all. If you're driving by and you saw a bunch of cars and said, oh, wow, I guess Frank and Lisa are having a party. I think I'll stop in, but oops, I didn't bring anything with me. That's okay. Come on in. We have plenty of extra towels, extra lotion, extra cigars, extra chairs. So we have plenty here. Just come on in and get your clothes off. Clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. And we'll have a good time on today's show. Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 160. Now, I don't know about you, but over the last few moments here, it seems like there's music behind my voice. Can you hear it? Let's listen together and see if I'm correct. Oh, yes, I hear the music. I'm sure you hear it, too. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the great, the terrific, the completely over-the-top, fully clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one and only, the one of a kind, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. And I have a question.
Oh
What does
boy.
a one of a kind mean? Because that could mean a lot of things.
Well, you can tell by the enthusiasm in my voice. In this case,
Oh,
one of a
uh-huh.
kind referring to you is a good thing. My
Okay,
story,
I'll go with
sticking
that.
to it. Okay.
Sometimes I wonder, but I'll go with that.
Well, don't tell me that there are two of you, please. And I mean that nicely.
No, no, no.
Okay. Phew.
What you see is what you get,
Whew. All right.
unfortunately, or fortunately. I don't know which
Oh,
it is, but
I mean, if there were two or more of you, I might be in a home somewhere. Just, people visit me, on weekends type of thing.
you probably would, but that's okay.
All right. See, just so everybody knows, that was a surprise question. That was not planned. Lisa didn't prep me in advance, didn't even tell me she was going to have a question, let alone the content. Just one of the many things we do around here to have fun, I guess. Let's call it that, right?
We'll call it that. And besides, I do like to get you off kilter just a tiny bit because you just come in so smooth and so, Mr. Radio. And it's like every now and then, let's take Frank down.
Well, one of these days we're going to do a segment. Probably just I'll do the segment alone, so you can't
Uh-huh.
chime in, explaining all the things you do behind the scenes while we're
Uh-huh.
recording to distract me and throw me off. We won't mention those now. We won't mention those now. But trust me, when you hear the smooth Frank Stone, yes, and let's go out to California and talk to. There's Lisa in the background. Again, I won't say what she's doing uh, because we'll just save it for another time. How's that sound?
All right. That works for me.
Okay. Well, I wanted to start today's show with an announcement from the American Association for Nude Recreation. George Oberle is the chairperson of the marketing committee, and he's come up with a plan to talk about Naturist Choice Awards. In fact, he's called it the Anner Naturist Choice Awards. And it's on the Anner website, right on the homepage. You can find it. Let me read what was written there. The American Association for Nude Recreation, Anner, is thrilled to launch the Anner Naturist Choice Awards to celebrate excellence in nudism. It's time to recognize your favorites that make the naturist community such an important part of all of our lives. Vote for your favorite nudist resort and social club in various categories and your favorite nude and nature spot to help us crown this year's winner. You do not have to be an Anner member to vote, and the voting closes on February 15th. You can go there now, tomorrow, the next day, whatever, but on the 15th of February, it will close. Only one vote per person, and duplicate votes will be deleted. And some of the categories, Lisa, are you an Anner member? Yes or no? Favorite nudist resort? What makes this nudist resort a favorite? You have a favorite nude and nature spot for nude sunbathing, hiking, or skinny dipping? And what makes this nude and nature spot a favorite? And the list goes on and on. And near the end, it's a question that asks for you to write something out or type something out. How did you decide to try naturism? So lots of questions there. And again, George Oberle, the marketing director, he's also the one, Lisa, I think you know this. He and Linda Weber and some other folks developed Naturist Hub, that online platform for naturists.
I do know that, and I know it's gotten extremely popular.
Yeah, same guy. And he's the marketing chair, and he's come up with this plan again, Anner Naturist Choice Awards. So you can go to AANR.com, and it's right on the homepage. You can't miss it. So check it out. We promised George we'd do that, so we always keep our promises around here, don't we?
We certainly do.
Okay. All right. We have some letters today, and then maybe a little soap opera action. How about that?
Yes, it's this is going to be a fun show. I can tell.
I think so. Well, let's not tip our hand too soon.
No,
We'll wait to
no,
get to the soapy
no.
moments. We'll come later in the
Yes.
show. Recently, I mentioned Armando. I forgot why. And I said we hadn't heard from him for a while. Well, guess who we heard from? And he wrote this letter after we recorded the show, but before it aired. So he's not responding like, hey, I heard you mention me. Here I am. No, nothing like that. Total coincidence. And I'll start the greeting, and then I'll have you read the letter if you're okay with that.
I'll be fine.
All right. Showing his wisdom and extreme knowledge and brilliance and high IQ. Thank you, Naked Nudist and Naturist team! Exclamation point. Didn't say Frank first, didn't say Lisa first, didn't mention Jennifer at all. Just thank you, Naked Nudist and Naturist team. That's pretty smart, isn't it?
And it certainly is, and that encompasses everyone who even has a little part on the show. So that's a very nice greeting from Armando.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, why don't you go ahead and read the letter?
You have no idea how much your podcast means to me. I look forward to every episode and space them out and break them up like I would do a good dessert. This morning I listened to the Christmas Eve episode, and now I have to decide if I should listen to Saturday's show on the way home or on the way home tomorrow. Sometimes I do get to listen to the Wednesday show on the day of, but often I space them out when I can enjoy them. Keep up the great work, Armando.
All right. That I don't even know where to begin. First of all, the very kind words.
Yes.
You have no
very.
idea how much your podcast means to me. That means the world to us. It really does.
It does. It's everything.
Yeah. And the fact that he looks forward to every episode, but then he spaces them out like a good dessert.
I know.
Too.
Crazy.
You don't want to eat the whole container of ice cream in one sitting. You want to, a little now, a little later, and so on and so forth. I just hope we're not adding stress to his life. Like, oh no, what do? I have 2 hours of shows and I only have so much drive time. I don't think we are adding stress to his life. I think we're enhancing his life. What do you think?
Oh, I think so. I think those are good choices that he has. Not not difficult, life-changing choices, but definitely, a fun choice for him to make. And if he wanted to, he could listen to both days. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He has a choice. That's important.
Yeah. We have gotten some feedback from listeners that we're almost giving them too much content. They're not saying too much yet, but they're saying they have to scramble a bit to keep up. Well, that's the way it goes. You want a podcast out there, you want extra content, we're going to do it. The good news is you don't have to rush to keep up. You just keep up whenever you can. Maybe you listen to 4 episodes this week if you didn't listen to any last week, and so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I think that, the good thing about podcasts is it can fit into everybody's lifestyle. That's, so it's a good thing. It's a good choice. And I think it's the best way to go. They can just listen when they want.
Yeah. Well, the way it works around here with when the numbers start coming in from Spotify and wherever else they come in, let's say we start the show at 6 a.m. Eastern time on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
For the first 15 minutes, we don't get anything. It just says a big, flat, fat 0. It's like, what? No one's listening? But about every 15 minutes or so, we get an update. And so when 7 o'clock rolls around, when the show is over on Saturday mornings, we have a pretty good idea of who's been listening during the first hour, and it's usually pretty good. And then after that, the numbers start pouring in as people throughout the USA start waking up. Because 7 a.m. here on the eastern coast is 4 a.m. out in the West Coast or the Pacific region. So it takes a while. Now, people across the pond, as they say, in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, well, I guess Europe is 5 or 6 hours ahead. That's not bad. But New Zealand right now, before the time changes, 18 hours ahead. So we drop at 6 a.m. Eastern time. That's midnight for them. So a lot of New Zealand folks don't even hear us until Sunday. And those numbers start pouring in as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's great. People are looking forward to it. It's 6 a.m. Saturday. And by golly, they're there at 6 a.m. Saturday. And same with Wednesday, as you mentioned, 12 noon. We have people listening starting at 12 noon. And we start getting letters about 1 o'clock, don't we?
We sure do. More and more and more each week. And fortunately, they're all good.
So far, that's right.
So far.
Right.
We hope to keep it that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, we thank you, Armando. Good to hear from you again. And glad we're enhancing your life and your drive time and all that good stuff.
And we do love hearing from him. So we hope you'll stay in touch.
Yes. And now we have a note from Greg White. He's written in quite a bit. He lives in California, I believe. And I'll read the first paragraph, and then I'll have you read the second paragraph and the limerick, if you're okay with that.
I'm fine.
Yeah, he sent us a
I
note.
can do that.
A note and a limerick. So it says, Frank. Ooh, there's no Lisa or Jennifer here. Any comments?
Well, I will forgive Greg because his limerick is quite cute. So,
well, he and I write back and forth quite a bit, so it makes sense he would address it to me. So he's not a comment for the show; he's a comment to me. So it's okay this time. Okay,
exactly.
All right. So he says, Frank, your comment at the end of episode 154 about your drinking, and that's in quotation marks, and then hoping to make it to the end of a live broadcast, remind me of book author titles we used to joke about in junior high. Oh, yes. Remember your junior high days?
Oh, very well.
Oh,
unfortunately.
yes.
No.
You've accused me of often mentally still being in those days, but I'll let that go for now if you're okay.
No, well, but there's a lot of proof of that. But anyway, go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah, I don't know what we said about drinking. I think we said we're not going to drink alcohol during the show. Or I said
Right.
we're going to drink heavily during the show, but it's only coffee or something like that.
Yeah, I think we were teasing about
Yeah.
something like about it,
Yeah.
but it's been
Yeah.
so many, it's hard to remember.
There are a couple of shows out there, not naturism shows at all, that I've stumbled across and I do not listen to. But they start the shows off telling us what they're going to be drinking during the show.
Mm.
And they go into great detail about this and that. And it's always hard liquor. And then, halfway through, they begin to stumble. And by the end, it's just a free for all and it's ridiculous. That's why I don't listen to them anymore because they don't even know what they're saying. How am I going to figure it out? But we don't know. We do drink heavily. Let's put that out there. We drink heavily during the show, but it's always coffee, not even water. We just have coffee, right?
Exactly. I mean, I have a cup in my hand right now, a Naked
right.
Nudist and Naturist cup in my hand right now, as a matter of fact.
That's right. All right. Some book titles from Greg White that they used to joke about in junior high, book titles and author titles. One or two I cannot read.
This is true.
The ones we can. Here's a book called 50-Yard Dash to the Outhouse by Willie Make It and Betty Won't. It's Willie Make It. No, not Betty White, but Betty Won't.
Betty Won't.
Yeah. I like that one.
That was clever.
Here's the first one I ever heard, probably back in junior high. Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts. First name Seymour, last name Butz. Seymour Butts, but I guess he's seeing more butts because he's under the bleachers, right?
I suppose that's what that means. Must have been a popular book.
Now, just for kicks, because I often have nothing to do in my life except sit around and think of silly things to do. I looked up some more of these titles on.
My goodness! Yeah. I'm not surprised that you did because this is really frank humor. Trust me.
There's that song, I forget who did it, popular song called Living in America. Remember that song?
Vaguely, I think so.
Yeah.
I probably mirror. Oh, yeah, I think I know which one.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody will write in and tell us who it is and when it came out. But
yes.
How about Living in Junior High? Because I'm still living there, I guess.
I think so.
Right.
I think that's a perfect song for you. It'll be your theme song.
All right. Well, I found some other book titles / authors that are silly. Get Rich Quick by Robin Banks.
Oh, that reminds me of something. But anyway, that's funny. Okay, that is funny.
How about A Guide to Dentistry by Phil McCavity? I like that one.
I probably shouldn't be laughing this much at these, but go ahead.
Begin to wonder if your mind is back in junior high as well.
It's been affected, trust me.
Okay. Here's one I know you'll enjoy, Lisa. The Race to the Bathroom by Anita P. Quick. The Race to the Bathroom by Anita P. Quick. Something you've heard around here a lot, but we'll let that go for now.
Yes. Oh, a lot. Yes. It's way too much coffee, people.
That's right. And the last one before we started getting in trouble, Caught from Behind by Eileen Dover. Eileen Dover. But if you say it fast, Caught from Behind by Eileen Dover. Well, there you go. You're going to get caught. Every time you lean over, you're going to get caught from behind, right?
And this is very true. And people should be wary of that. Oh, my gosh. There's a lot of very strange minds out there with incredibly strange senses of humor, but actually those were pretty funny.
Yeah. So we appreciate Greg White for that. And again, his main two contributions, 50-Yard Dash to the Outhouse by Willie Make It and Betty Won't, and Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts.
Yes.
Now, if you will take it from there and read the next couple of lines as well as the limerick that he sent in, that'd be great.
I will certainly do so. As far as New Year's Eve goes, I did stay up for the ball drop in Times Square, but since that happened at 9 p.m. in California, it wasn't much of a stretch. Yeah, lucky. You're lucky you could do that. Yeah. Those are times when time zones come in handy. Finally, something you haven't gotten from a listener before, a limerick. And here is his limerick. Lisa and Frank are not rude for doing their podcast while nude. It's the natural way that they spend every day. If you're bothered, then you are a prude.
Wow, I like that.
I love that.
Yeah, that's well
And
done.
it's true. If you're bothered, go away.
Yeah. We should post that either on the website or social media or both. Obviously, give credit to Greg White, but
I will
well done.
definitely post it
Yeah.
on the website.
All right, let's do that later today. So thank you, Greg White, for your author slash titles and the funny ones, and for your limerick. Now we're going to get to a gentleman. I don't think we've ever mentioned him on the show before. I could be wrong. My memory is fading. A guy, Marc from France. Have we ever talked about him before?
I believe we might have mentioned him, once or twice in passing.
Okay. Okay. Well, he sent something in that is beyond belief, unbelievably great, and also showing his wisdom and high IQ. He starts off with, "Hey, and crew." See,
Yes.
these people are pretty smart. They don't want to incur your wrath and put me first, so they take the safe way out.
My wrath.
That's how I see it. Yeah.
I'm not the one who complains about this all the time. Who's the one who always brings it up? I'm not thinking it's me. Okay, go.
I merely point out high IQs. That's all I'm doing here. I mean nothing by it.
Of course not. Of
All right.
course
So,
not.
hey, NNN crew. And do you want to go ahead and read that paragraph?
As I was training, naked, but now you know it, this morning, listening to you both mentioning Monroe Stone, the private investigator, the idea of drafting a short story about him just sprung into my mind. So back to my keyboard, I quickly drafted the short story below. Far from perfect, but I just wanted to share it. Keep up your great work and congrats for being in the top 3%. I'm sure you can hit number 1. Enjoy.
Yep, absolutely. So, Marc from France, we appreciate that note. And then he sent in, I guess, what could be described, at least to me, I'm describing it to myself, as a soap opera involving Monroe Stone and some things that he goes through. Is that kind of how you see it, or what?
Actually, I think there's a little bit of detective work going here. It kind of has a noir feel, like the old 40s and 50s detective shows out of California with the dark and the dark in the middle of the night kind of thing. But it's really well done. And if you remember, everyone, we someone had given their last names, and we were talking about the fact that Monroe Stone sounded like a detective, like a noir detective, and Stone Monroe sounded like a wrestler. So, and he ran with the Monroe Stone, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so he has 4 episodes here. We'll read all 4. Let's cue the music in first.
Okay.
There we go.
I
Always
can
have
hear
to
it.
have music. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yes.
All right, so episode 1, The Breeze Carries Trouble. So now you know it's a serious episode 1, The Breeze Carries Trouble, right?
Yes, I like that line, actually, very much.
All right. And Lisa, we're going to read this back and forth. I'll be the voice of Monroe Stone. You'll be the voice of Mrs. Delgado in episode 1. So why don't you take off paragraph 1 from Marc from France, episode 1, The Breeze Carries Trouble. I'll begin with the narrative.
Monroe Stone swung gently on his porch swing, black coffee in one hand, magnifying glass in the other, his only props in life. At 45, he was lean from years of hiking the trails au naturel, with a scruffy beard that said,
I gave up razors when I gave up pants.
Sunny Glades.
Well, that's how Monroe Stone would talk. I'm thinking he's a private eye. These guys, rough and rough. Okay. Go ahead.
Sunny Glades was, yeah, I got this. Sunny Glades was his paradise. 40 homes nestled in the hills, clothing strictly optional, community strictly mandatory.
All right, and then moving on. That morning, old Mrs. Delgado stormed up his path, bare as always, but flushed with worry.
Monroe, my favorite hat is gone. The wide brimmed straw one I wear for gardening. Monroe raised an eyebrow.
The one that makes you look like a glamorous scarecrow? Hate to break it to you, Dolores, but maybe the wind borrowed it.
It was on my porch last night.
She insisted.
And Howard's wind chime disappeared too. Something's off.
By lunch, 3 more reports, garden trowels, a solar lantern, a ceramic frog statue nobody admitted liking. Nothing expensive, just the little things that made daily nude life present.
Monroe sighed, stood up, no need to adjust anything, and slapped his fedora on.
Fine, Monroe Stone, private eye is on the case. In this town, the only thing colder than the trail is the breeze on your...
Yeah.
Dolores laughed.
We've heard it. He grinned.
Then let's find your damn hat. We might have a new career beginning.
We might do it. Think we could do voiceovers for a living?
Yeah.
But audio books, here we come.
Then again, the podcast police might show up at any time and confiscate all of our equipment, so we can never do this again.
They very well may. And we might get letters. We might get lots of letters.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's fun.
All right, let's move on here. That's episode 1, featuring Marc from France and his stone Monroe or Monroe Stone? It's
Monroe Stone.
Yeah. Stone Monroe is the wrestler, you said?
Yes. Stone Monroe is the wrestler. Monroe Stone is the private eye.
All right. How are you at doing a man's voice?
I don't know. Can I do a man's voice? I don't know.
That's not bad. Because there's a guy named Liam. I'm guessing that's a guy, right?
Okay.
All right. So Monroe spent the next 2 days interviewing residents over breakfast, naked, naturally.
Raccoons?
Suggested young Leon. Raccoons don't steal wind chimes.
Monroe deadpanned.
They steal trash, dignity, and occasionally your soul, but not wind chimes.
He prowled the paths at dawn, barefoot and silent. That's when he found the real clue. Muddy sneaker prints leading from the woods to Mrs. Delgado's porch and back again. Sneakers. In sunny glades, the only shoes anyone owned were for hiking outside the gates, and even then most went barefoot. Later, tangled in a blackberry bush, he spotted a scrap of blue cotton. Denim.
Textiles.
He muttered.
Clothed intruders, figures.
That night, he staked out the community center from behind a fern. Thermos of coffee keeping him company. Around 2 a.m., shadows moved. 3 figures, fully dressed in dark hoodies and jeans, creeping between cabins with flashlights and a burlap sack. Monroe almost laughed out loud.
Amateurs, you can't sneak in baggy pants.
But he stayed hidden. Evidence first, confrontation later.
All right, and that's the end of episode 2, Footprints and Fabric Scraps. We are not well people, are we?
Well, Marc has written a very, very, very nice little story, and I'm hoping we're not killing it right now.
Right. Yeah, you never want to kill a story. Again, Marc from France has written this 4 episodes featuring Monroe Stone, the private detective, private investigator. And before we go on, Lisa, with episodes 3 and 4, we should take a moment to remind everybody. Yes. We are the official podcast of the American Association for Nude Recreation. Are you a member? If so, that is great. But if not, you can go to aanr.com right now, follow the navigation through to membership, and within moments, just like Lisa Monroe is and just like I am, you will be fully fledged members of the American Association for Nude Recreation. How about that for a deal on a Wednesday afternoon, Lisa Monroe?
That's a pretty darn good deal, and Anna is there to help all of us, so everyone should support it.
Absolutely. You're listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 160 today. We've already done the letters from Armando and Greg White, including a limerick from Greg White. We're in about halfway through now of the story from Marc from France. He's written 4 episodes featuring Monroe Stone. So we'll continue on. Episode 3, the plot thickens like cheap sunscreen. That's the title.
Wow.
Nothing worse than cheap sunscreen. Is there?
Nasty stuff.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, the thefts escalated. Someone took the communal volleyball, then the horseshoe stakes. Residents started locking doors, an alien concept in a place where privacy was visual, not physical. Monroe gathered the community under the big oak. 50 naked adults, some sitting, some standing, all serious.
Folks,
He began.
We've got textiles on our land, sneaker prints, denim scraps, and I spotted 3 of them last night, bagging our stuff like discount bandits.
Gasp rippled. Why?
asked Harold. Monroe held up. I hate to say it, you make a pretty good man for a woman. I don't even know what that means, but
Sure.
we should probably move on quickly.
Yes.
Boy, so much I want to say right now, but in the interest of the show, we will continue on.
Monroe held up a crumpled flyer he found taped to a tree outside the gates.
Future site of Oak Ridge Estates, luxury gated community.
The developer's name? Victor Prudhomme.
I know that name.
Monroe growled.
Local big shot who's been whining about property values ever since we bought this land 20 years ago. He wants us scared, uncomfortable, ready to sell cheap so he can bulldoze paradise and build McMansions with dress codes.
The crowd booed loudly and unashamedly. So what do we do?
Liam asked.
Monroe grinned. We set a trap, and we do it our way, bare, bold, and together.
And that concludes episode 3, Marc from France, all about Monroe Stone, the private investigator. And we have one more, Lisa. If you can keep your wits about you, we'll go ahead and do this. What do you think?
Let's go for it. I'm intrigued. I want to know how the story goes.
All right, so episode 4, The Night of the Naked Ambush. The plan was simple. Stage a late-night emergency potluck by the hot tub. Music, lights, laughter. Make it look like easy pickings. At midnight, the community gathered, 50 nude residents pretending to party, but ready. Monroe hid nearby with a whistle and his trusty fedora.
Right on schedule, the 3 textiles crept in. Hoodies, jeans, sneakers, sack in hand, heading for the unlocked supply shed. Monroe blew the whistle. Lights flipped on. Every resident stepped forward, calm, confident, and completely bare. The intruders froze like deer in the headlights. Victor Prudhomme himself was leading them, his face redder than a sunburned tourist.
Well, well.
Monroe drawled, strolling forward.
If it isn't Mr. Prudhomme, come to steal our horseshoes? Careful, they might chafe under all those layers.
The gang panicked. One tripped over his own drooping jeans, another dropped the sack and ran, shoes squelching. Victor tried bluster.
Do you have a Victor voice?
This is trespassing, indecent exposure.
All right, Monroe laughed.
We're on private property, pal. You're the ones trespassing and indecent, buddy. The only indecent thing here is a polyester in 2026.
Residents closed in, phones out, recording everything. Victor and his crew fled into the night, pants literally falling down as they crashed through the bushes. By morning, the police, sympathetic after seeing the footage, had them for trespass and theft. The stolen items were returned. The community celebrated with the biggest nude dance party Sunny Glades had ever seen. Monroe stood on his porch again, coffee in hand, watching the sunrise kiss bare skin all around.
In the end,
He muttered to the breeze.
You can't steal freedom. You can only choose to live it.
And they did. Stronger, prouder, and happily naked ever after.
There you go. The travels and travails of Monroe Stone, private investigator, as put forth in 4 episodes by Marc from France. Pretty good story.
It's a very good story for such a. I mean, he apparently just heard the show and then just rushed off and started typing. So
Yeah.
that's the mark of someone with a really creative brain, and he came up with a really good and plausible thing because we know about developers, and
Oh.
they like land, so they
Oh,
will
yeah.
go after it for anything. So very well done. I hope we did it justice.
I hope so too. We were just having fun with it, but at the same time, we're trying to honor Marc from France. He's a terrific writer.
Oh,
A
he
lot of great
truly
ideas
is.
on naturism. And his story proves don't ever mess with 50 naked people. You're going down, buddy, right?
You heard that right.
That's right.
In numbers, we are formidable.
That's right. Absolutely. So thank you, Marc from France. We appreciate you very much. You know that. And we appreciate this story. And we have other things Marc has sent in. We won't get to them today, but in upcoming shows we will. How about that?
Certainly, and Mark is has quite the head on his shoulders about naturism and what it really encompasses and how we should be naturist. And it's all very simple and very straightforward, and it's just about enjoying being who we are. And so we look forward to hearing more of his words.
Yeah, very well said. And Lisa, before we go, before we
Yes.
let you go, and then I'll finish up the show, because you've accused me of being mentally at the level of a middle school student, and I'm beginning to wonder about you too, but I'll let that go for now.
I've been influenced. You can't, there's nothing I can do about it. I've been led astray.
Well, now wait a minute. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Did I influence you, or did you influence me?
Oh, well, I guess that's a question for eternity. I'm not
All right.
sure which.
There are a lot
Hard
of people
to decide.
before you came along. We started doing the show today together. There are a lot of people who viewed me as a very mature human being. Fewer now do, but so I'm going to blame it on you. I was in the game before you came along. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, whatever you say. I've learned not to argue with you. You're the delusional Frank, but anyway.
All right. Well, back to our junior high days,
Yes.
mentally anyway.
Yes.
Found some other book titles / authors that are kind of humorous, some more humorous than others. How about 40 Years in the Saddle by Major Bumsore?
That'll do it.
I got that out just before you got the coffee in your mouth. I noticed that. That
I
was
know.
nearly a disaster.
I caught myself and put the coffee cup down. I will leave it there for a while.
That's right. How about Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous by Iona Big Yacht? Iona is her first name, Big Yacht last name.
Yes.
All right. Here's one, Modern Construction Techniques by Bill Ding. Building. These are absolutely silly and ridiculous, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're so silly and ridiculous that they are funny.
Yeah.
And you once always talked about the fact that people don't laugh enough. So these are things that make you laugh, even if they're not, even if they're silly. It's good to laugh.
Yep. There's I'll do a couple last ones here. Hold Your Horses by I Am Coming. Two initials, I Am. Could be what's a good I name? Ignatius?
Ivan.
Ivan, yeah.
Ivan
Ivan
that's
Michael
the only thing
Cummings,
that came to my mind. Irving.
That works too.
Okay.
And we'll end with this one because if we don't end soon, we'll just go on like for 8 hours and people say, hey, folks, that's probably enough of book titles and authors.
Probably
I like
so.
this one. Wrestling with Tigers by Claude Bottom.
Now that's funny.
Oh, goodness sakes.
That will be an interesting thing.
Yep. Well, we hope you enjoyed those. Hope you got a few laughs. Like you said, we need to laugh more. I've been accused of laughing too much sometimes. That's okay. Rather laugh too much than not enough. It just makes you feel better, takes the stress away, takes the wrinkles away, and life is better, I think, don't you?
I do too. And I think laughter can creep into a lot of things. I think one of the reasons that fighter pilots and people like that who are under such stressful, very intense jobs, just crack jokes because it's a stress reliever and it's not ever meant to be light or to be, not respectful of what they do, but it is a way to keep yourself on an even keel and get that stress out. So laughter is a really good thing.
Mm-hmm. I used to do that all of the time when I was the top dog in various organizations. Really stressful
Mm-hmm.
moments like, oh boy, this could go one way really bad, one way okay. And I'd crack a joke, and some people would get it and laugh. Other people, oh, I can't believe you're joking at a time like this. I said, no, this is the time to joke like this because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise we'll go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this one surgeon. He used to. I don't think he does it anymore because he's moved on in his practice to other things. But he would always do that to break the tension in the operating room. Probably 10 people in there, nurses,
Mm-hmm.
assistants, anesthesiologists. Like, this is literally life or death. We're going to operate
Mm-hmm.
on this guy, his heart, to save his life. And if it goes wrong, he's going to die on the table. So now that's about as serious as it gets, right?
Exactly.
You know, so he would start off and, open the guy's chest, and then he'd just stand there for a second and he'd say, and everybody's, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And he said, shoot, I can't remember which tool I'm supposed to use first. Any ideas? And some people would look at him like, you're the surgeon. If you don't know this guy's cooked. And then he'd quickly say, hey, I'm just kidding. Trying to break
Yeah.
the ice here. Hand me the whatever he needed to begin the process. But so even in a literal life and death situation, humor is not a bad way to go.
It is not. And I think anytime you're dealing with people, if you can, even in a serious situation, if you can set the tone just a tiny bit lighter. Now there are certain situations you can't. I mean, situations you have to, crack the whip a little bit. But those opportunities when they that can create a relaxed atmosphere when you're discussing something, I think is invaluable to getting that communication level going, and it's fun.
That's right. Well, we have no plans to meet under the bleachers today, but if we do, we have a book to read when we get there by Seymour
We
Butts.
certainly do.
All right. All right, Lisa Monroe, great job today. As always, if you promise to stay clothes-free, we'll have you back on Saturday. Is that a deal?
That's a deal. And besides, if you show up in textiles, Monroe Stone will come get you. So I'm
Oh, I
going to
know.
stay naked.
I know. And maybe that's the lesson of today's show.
Yes.
Don't mess with 50 naked people, especially when Monroe Stone is involved.
Exactly.
All right. Have a great few days, Lisa Monroe.
Okay,
We'll see you on Saturday.
Too. Bye, everybody. Have fun.
All right. Oh, my goodness sakes alive. How about that? Little Monroe Stone action. Marc from France, Armando, Greg White, everybody got involved in today's show. Hope you enjoyed that. What a great story. We highly recommend Marc's writing for you to read. He's a gifted writer, and he hits it right on the head every single time. His stories on naturism. Also has a lot of books out there. Everything you need link-wise is in the show notes, so check him out. And maybe we'll do more of that down the road, depending on your reaction. If you enjoyed it, and let us know. If you did not enjoy it, just tell us, hey, what are you guys doing? Just let us know. We hope you enjoyed it, though. We certainly had fun doing it. A lot of nuances going on behind the scenes here. It's kind of what old-time radio is. You can't see what's going on. But trust me, there's a whole lot going on, not just two people sitting at mics reading. There's a lot going on, and I'll leave that alone to your imagination right there. But we had a blast doing it. Hope you enjoyed it. Monroe Stone. maybe we'll have more episodes down the road. Well, the terrific Lisa Monroe, she does it all around here. All the memes you see on social media promoting our show, she does all of those by herself. She totally runs the website by herself. She helps out with Patreon. She does all of the merchandise by herself. And when I say all by herself, I mean that literally. Merchandise, website, memes. She does everything. So sometimes ask me a question. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? But the actual physical work is done by Lisa Monroe. And we appreciate her very much around here, and especially when she lets her hair down, so to speak, and engages in some frivolity, like reading that story today. So hope you enjoyed that. On episode 160 of Naked Nudists and Naturists. And if you come back on this Saturday, I shouldn't say if you come back, I should say when you come back on this Saturday. Episode 161, our special guest over the next 2 Saturdays will be Renee Bellamy. Do you remember him? We talked about him a month or two ago. He sent in a drawing. He's a cartoonist / artist. And he sent in a drawing of what he thinks we look like. Now, until recently, nobody had seen us, and that wasn't necessarily by design. We're radio people. Radio people use their voices and not their faces. That's just how it goes in radio. You know that. That's why they say I have a perfect voice for radio. At any rate, going by our voices and our presentations and our personalities, he thought, I'm going to draw this up how I see it in my mind. Well, he's the guy who sent that in, and he is a gifted artist, and we'll have him as our special guest the next 2 shows. But now he has seen me, and you'll hear that during the interview when I say, well, okay, now you're seeing me, and he believes he got pretty close to the truth where I am. He's not seen Lisa yet, but he will, and then we'll see how he reacts to that as well. So the next 2 Saturdays, episodes 161 and 163, our featured and special guest will be Renee Bellamy. Now, as always, we want to know what you think. We really enjoy getting feedback from you, however you send it. Patreon, our email address, nakedforevermore@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Blue Sky. You can write to us on our YouTube page. You can write to us on our Spotify page. We enjoy hearing from you. We also have a way for you to record through audio your comments. We've not talked about that before, and we won't talk about it today because not everything is set up on this end to capture everything. But very soon we're going to let you do that. If you have a comment about the show, instead of writing it out, you just want to pick up your phone quickly and record something and send it in. We will play that on the show as well. So lots of options to get a hold of us. We do try to write back as quickly as possible. Every once in a while, we miss a message. It gets captured in our promotions or social in Gmail. I don't know why. It doesn't make the inbox, so we don't see it. So if you've not heard back from us, just send us another letter like, hey, what's going on? I wrote on whatever date. And then we'll check the social, the promotions, the whatever, the spam sometimes. And we'll find your note to us and we will respond. But we enjoy the interaction, so please feel free to write early and often. Because that's what enhances the whole naturism community, is communicating back and forth about the joys of clothes-free living. Well, again, we thank you for being with us today on episode 160. And don't forget to join us this coming Saturday, our featured guest, Renee Bellamy, on episode 161. Well, you've been listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 160 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, anyplace. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.